What's going on, people? We are with rational equations, and we're going to solve some rational equations because that's what we do. If you're here, it's because you missed two or more on your practice tier canvas, and you need some practice. That's why you're here. So let's get into this. So this is when we have fractions. I taught you all that if the fractions do not have a denominator of 3, 6, 7, or 9, we can convert into decimals and make our problem easier. But that only happens until this problem right here. So we're going to have to leave everything as a fraction right now because we know these are repeating and crazy looking fractions. All right, let me get my line better. Let me set up my apparatus so I don't write real crazy. So I need to touch this last. So I need to add 42 to both sides. 42, we get 2/3 k is equal to, and 42 and negative 22. Of course, you all have calculators, but that gives me 20. All right, so how do I get k alone? Well, this is 2/3 times k. I could divide everything by 2/3, but we broke it down for you all. So we just say, start off multiplying both sides by 3 to get the 3 out of the denominator. So we get 2k is equal to 60. And now we can divide by 2 on both sides, and k is equal to 30. Whenever you feel like your answer's not right, I tell you to check it. So if you put 2/3 times 30 minus 42, does that give you negative 22? 2/3 of 30 is 20. And so 20 minus 42 is negative 22. All right, let's look at the next one. Next one is very similar. So you have negative 8/3. Remember, bring that negative to the top when you write it. So I need to get the variable alone. So I add 2 to both sides. When I do that, I get a negative 8 over 3c is equal to 8. Now, I like getting rid of the negatives in the beginning. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3 to get rid of this negative sign. That cancels, and I get negative 8c is equal to negative 24. What do I need to do now? I need to divide by negative 8. Divide by negative 8. C is equal to 3. Got that? Good. All right, so again, on this problem, it would have been nice to turn these into decimals. I don't know what 8 over 15 is. It might be a nice decimal. It might not be. You can try it in your calculator now, but this 4/3 means that you got 1 and 1/3, which is negative 1.3333 repeating. So we're not going to turn it into a decimal. We're going to leave it as a fraction. But everyone, these problems are just like these problems up here. What do I have to get alone? I have to get k alone. So move negative 8 over 15. Get out the way. All right, so we add 8/15 to both sides. Now, we have the calculator. So we're going to, in our calculator, put, and now you always use parentheses for grouping symbols, so fractions, negative 4 divided by 3. You can probably hear me clacking, putting in my calculators, close my parentheses, plus parentheses 8 over 15. Will you get the same answer without using parentheses? Some yes, many times yes, but sooner or later you will not. Okay, so I end up with 4k over 5, or 4/5 k, is equal to a negative 0.8. All right, so here's my I could turn this into a decimal and then deal with this, or I could not. I'm gonna do both. So I'm gonna have 4/5 k is equal to a negative 0.8. All right, so I'm gonna turn 4/5 into a decimal. If you don't know what it is, 4/5, 20th. So we can do 4 divided by 5. Oh, that's 0.8k. 0.8k is equal to negative 0.8. Divide, that looks like a negative right here, so I don't know where this little mark came from right here. I don't know where it came from, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Got little marks on the screen confusing the people. All right, divide both sides by by 0.8k, by 0.8, sorry, and we end up, this is the same number. When you divide by the same number, you still get 1, so k is equal to a negative 1. If you did not do that, there's another mark. Where are these marks, y'all? I don't know, maybe I'm just not being cognizant right now. So if you didn't do that and you end up, yes, I want you to write this down. If you had 4 over 5, k is equal to negative 0.8, you would have multiplied both sides by 5. And so we get 4k is equal to, and then negative 0.8 times 5. Y'all make sure you don't forget your negatives, and don't forget this point. All right, this is multiplication. I'm gonna put it like that because it looked like a decimal. All right, and so we end up with a -4, and then divide by 4, divide by 4. K is equal to -1. Same answer both times. All right, let's look at this one right here. Look at here, look at here, look at here. So 3/2 is a nice decimal. 3/5 is a nice decimal. So we can turn these all into decimals if it helps our life out, and we can leave them all decimals. Or if you just want to put them in your calculator and distribute them, that's still fine as well. So if I'm just going to distribute them and just leave them as decimals, since I know they're going to work out to be nice to me. So I'm going to do 3/2 times 8. Sorry about this right here. And this gives me 12x. And I'm going to do 3/2 times 10. This gives me 15 minus 3/5 times 10. This gives me 6x. Come on, man. 6x. And then I do 3 minus 5. 3/5 times 5. And it gives me a 3. Now, negative times a negative is a positive. This is where some of y'all gonna make mistakes. Y'all, please don't forget your signs. Oh, they're so important, so important, so important. Now we combine like terms. Combine these and we get 6x, and then 15 and 3 gives us 18 is equal to 0. Oh, now we got a nice two-step equation. Subtract 18. Subtract 18. You get 6x is equal to -18. What am I going to do now? I'm going to divide by 6, and we get x is equal to -3. All right, so in the beginning, I could have turned these into decimals, but since I'm multiplying, I'm going to end up getting a decimal anyway, and it works out that all these decimals are 0.0 because they're integers. And so I thank you for coming to my station and watching my video. Come on, computer, up here acting slow, messing up my chat. Y'all know how we do, what we do around here. This is Mr. O'Neil. I almost call myself Mrs. O'Neil. It's time for Mrs. O'Neil, but it's on another page. I'm not going to get into my personal life up here. I don't even know how to get out of here. All right, we about to leave. All right, have a good life. I'm signing off because this thing's acting weird and I can't even see how to stop the recording. But hopefully it'll stop. Yes, I want to stop and exit.